Hey guys, this is Tanner Smith with EDL 856, Module 5, Understanding My Community. My community is Chase County. Some of the customs and traditions we have and common ideas and attitudes, we're a pretty supportive community of our youth in the community. Um, Pretty close-knit. The school and community work decently well together. There are some areas that we could improve on in regards to the school reaching out. But pretty close knit with the school and organizations, and families within the community are very close knit. It's a very tough community. We're agriculturally have an agriculture background, so it's pretty tough, and they have a tough mindset. Um, we're also a very conservative community. The habits of some of the people. We have highly involved students. They're very active in a lot of the activities we offer within the community and within the school. We have a Veterans Day celebration every year where we bring the entire school district into our gymnasium, and we bring some veterans in and we celebrate that day as a community. And we also take our homecoming parade pretty seriously. We'll have all the class floats come downtown, and we'll have alumni and the community come down on the main street in Conwood Falls and just celebrate homecoming and the football game to come. And student success is celebrated pretty heavily. We've been fortunate enough to have some success in the spring sports, and our communities have had send-offs for state tournaments and welcome homes for doing well at some of those tournaments. And we do a good job of recognizing a lot of student achievements through our school academically and athletically. We have a pretty high church population. We have quite a few churches, and it seems like a large part of the community is involved with that. And that's one of the ways we get information out as well. We also have the thing called Parkapalooza, which was established to improve one of the parks for our youth in the community, and that's become a yearly or an annual celebration where we'll have activities and games for kids. And it's just a fun thing that brings the community together. And then we also have Strong City Rodeo. It is a giant rodeo that at one point was huge. It'd bring people from all over the country to the small town of Strong City, and they have a rodeo. And I believe that goes all weekend, and they have it the same weekend every year, and it has a huge turnout. So that is a lot of the tradition and customs that our community has. As far as change and how that's been handled, like I said, our community is pretty conservative. And so just a few examples of change and how the community did not handle that very, I shouldn't say well, they just didn't see that it needed to be done. One was we had some high school baseball fields originally that was monitored by our high school that had some pretty successful athletes play on it. And then the school wanted to move that with the rec based on a recommendation, I believe, from a coach. And I don't believe the community had it discussed with them, and they did not like that very well. Things are working out now, but at the time I believe there was a lot of upset community members. The next thing is a bond issue, and I'll probably talk about that a little bit in this. We had a bond issue pass a couple years ago. And it has been a fiasco of sorts at times. The first bond we tried passing when I first got to Chase County failed by a ton. It was like 800 no votes to 100 yes votes. And so we put another bond issue together, and it passed barely. I think 700 yes, maybe less than that, 500 yes, 400 no. So it was pretty close. And that has seen its issues, and the community is aware of those issues. And it's just going to cost us more money. And then also there was a bridge that was taken out, and that might sound small, but in such a small community, taking a bridge out on a transportation road, it affected quite a few rural families, and they are still upset about that. And I think that happened over a couple years ago, and I can still hear them discuss that today. Population characteristics. I'll just run through these. Our education race in the community, 96% white, 92% of the community members who are 25 or older have a high school graduate degree or higher, and then only 25% of the community that is age 25 or older have a bachelor degree or higher. 3.5% of the language spoken other than English is at home. So 3.5% of our population speaks another language at home. And we really do have limited diversity. 96% white in the community. We really have limited diversity, and that is seen in the school as well. Age and gender in the community. 55% of our population is between ages 19 and 64, and then we are pretty much 50-50 when it comes to male to female. Occupation, I thought this was pretty interesting. On average, our community members travel 21 minutes to work every day, and that's people 16 years and older. So we're a pretty rural community, and we've got to travel to get to work. Emporia is 17 miles away, and I thought that was a pretty interesting fact. We're an agriculture community, a lot of ranching and farming. 11% of our community is considered poverty, and the majority of our community, like I said here, is poor, working class with limited white collar. And those mostly are the individuals running the ranches and the farms. Our school, our race is 91% white, 5.6% Hispanic, 3.5% other, and then we have 100% of our student population is non-English language learning or English language learners. And then we also, like I said, have limited diversity there. With our age and gender, we are 58% female in the school and 42% male, which has been our lowest male numbers to date. And then our class sizes, they just continue to decrease. Since I've been there, it has decreased by about 5 to 10 students each year. And then economically, we have 33% of our students who are economically disadvantaged. Communication channels, we do a pretty decent job of getting the information out for being a rural community. We have once a week local newspaper. They kind of cover what's going on with the school. I don't know I think that relationship could probably be improved. And then we also have Emporia Gazette, which I believe is a daily area newspaper who covers a lot of our athletics. We have a post office bulletin board that a lot of information is posted on that. Since people have to go to the post office for their P.O. box, a lot of that information, community members see that information posted on the bulletin board. We also have a school website, but I believe that lacks up-to-date content that needs to be improved. Individual teachers, we don't really have a high school social media page, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, but we have individual teachers that do a pretty good job of pushing the school information out through their personal social media. And then a lot of the community is connected through Facebook, whether it's a few community members or our elementary school. Our elementary school has its own Facebook page, and then there's a few individuals within the community. If we can get information to them, they will get it to the rest of the community through Facebook. We also have the luxury of having a school all-call system where a message will be typed up or sent from the district office, and that will go to every stakeholder that we have that comes through the school, students, parents, other community members, and they will get that information, email, text, and a phone call voicemail. And then we also have a daily school bulletin, and that goes through email, and that goes to all stakeholders that have to do anything with the school, and that is the best way for staff to communicate as well as through our school email. People in the community get most of their news information from our all-call system from the district office or through Facebook. Community groups, we have quite a few community groups for being such a small community. The Kaltenbacher and Chase County Community Fund are both different entities that provide funds for community organizations, and they have helped the school tremendously through the few years I've been here. SOS is organization out of Emporia that helps the surrounding area, and they provide different services for students in need or for a curriculum that we believe might be beneficial, especially in the health class. And then we also have a local food pantry and clothes closet that help deliver food to kids in need throughout the year. I think every Friday they're given food for the weekend, and we have a list of certain students who meet that criteria. Within the school, we have PAS, which is Parents and Teachers Helping Students. They organize activities for students within the school. And then we have Friends and Family Booster Club, which was two separate organizations that combined into one. Um, and they just do a lot with helping the athletics and putting on dances and things like that, and fundraising money through for the kids. We also have a drug-free action team. Um, and one of the best things about Chase County and our school is that we have 32 activities offered in our school, whether it's athletics or clubs, and only 7 students in our entire 7th through 12th population are not involved. We have 95% student involvement, which is pretty amazing, and our kids are extremely active and out there, and I think they're the whole reason why there is a beneficial relationship between the school and the community. Curriculum influence is definitely done by the school board and administration, and we have a CCAT team, which is the department heads. We discuss curriculum and when it needs updated. We work together on ordering new books and new curriculum to meet state standards and our local standards. And then we also co-op with a Flint Hills special education group in Emporia for our special education students. Problem organizations, I don't see any problem organizations. I think most of them keep the kids first and cooperate well together to accomplish the goals we need for the kids. Leadership, when I was thinking about this and just talking with some individuals, the school board obviously and the superintendent are going to play leadership roles. Our sheriff does a really good job of being involved with students and school and families and kind of bridging a gap there between our school and community. And then of course our administration, our principals, and then our veteran teachers and coaches who have been here for a while. Most of them are homegrown kids. You know, they went to school at Chase County and they became teachers and coaches at Chase County. They have a really good rapport with community members, and they display a lot of leadership because of that. And then we have a couple organizations or companies or people in Chase County that really show leadership. One was Harshman Construction, and they financially help a lot of organizations within the community and are at a lot of sporting events and school events supporting the kids. And then Mike Holder is an individual that is active. He's works with the extension office in Chase County, and he involves himself with the school as much as possible and likes to come talk to kids. And these leaders really influence a lot of the community youth through the school. And they also play a large part in influencing our voters. No community leaders, a lot of their characteristics, they financially support the organizations with the school and the community. Their decisions are grounded in what they think is best for the community and the kids, and that can lack it sometimes, especially with a couple of our administrators. I think some of the decisions need to be made to what is best for all students, and sometimes it seems like it only helps certain students. But for the majority of the time, they do a really good job. And then these people also collaborate well with other community members, organizations, and the school members. And then they are also heavily involved with multiple organizations. They don't represent just one or two organizations. They are heavily involved with multiple organizations, with the community, and with the school. Economic conditions, we live in the Flint Hills, so that is just a tourist attraction. So we bring in some money through that, and we also have the Tallgrass Prairie. Our top industries are manufacturing, educational services, construction, and agriculture. Manufacturing, we have LMI, which is an aerospace manufacturing plant within our county, which employs roughly 164 people. Our educational service, which is our schools, employs about 145. Construction takes up a big part of that, which employs about 128 jobs. And then agriculture, I think, is the largest industry in our community, employing almost 350 or roughly 357 people, and brings in about $90 million a year. Wages, median household incomes, $42,000, and that. I think if it weren't for the value of some of the land and some of the money that those ranchers bring in, that number would be much lower, since most of our community members are poor or working class. And then our land use and property values, the Chase County area actually ranks highest in the state of Kansas with cropland and pasture land, and that was done in 2010. But in all of Kansas, the area we live in is worth the most amount of money as far as cropland and pasture land is concerned. And then our average property value of 2016 was $83,200. And the district business has a lot to do with the bond issue. You know, the bond issue, we increased mill levy to get what we needed to get, and that has seen its issues within the school.